One of the lessons that I've learned through the years is that you do what you can, but you've got to expect that God is going to do His miracles and provide His results. And I'm going to give you an illustration of that concerning the finances of Campus Crusade for Christ. As always, there are challenges financially. And I was out trying to raise funds to try to help with some of those challenges. And we were seeing some progress, but I wouldn't say we were raising millions or anything. And we were just about ready to take off in a plane to come back home to Orlando. And I got word that someone I did not even know gave an undesignated gift of $1 million to Campus Crusade. And I thought to myself, well, I'd done what I could do working on the deficits. I'd done what I could do in terms of trying to raise funds. But then God all of a sudden just blesses. And you know, that's something I've seen repeated time and time again. I don't know what kind of experiences you've had in support raising, but I've had a lot of them in 40 years of raising support. When I started raising support, I went to all my friends, just like probably you did. I went to my home church. I went to a lot of people that would be natural and obvious to approach for support. And at the end of all that, I had 15% of my support. That's 15% of my support. I thought, I'm not sure God wants me here. But I didn't quit. I just kept going to people. And before I was going to leave town and then come back later, I happened to be visiting this friend of mine who was a chairman of the board of a very prominent company there in town. And I knew him well, actually through my mother, and she knew his wife and so on. And I was sitting in his little office there, and I decided not to ask him for money because he had been very gracious in helping me with a job earlier. It just didn't make sense to me to ask him for money, so I decided not to. So I was telling him what I was doing, and I started to get up, and he said, oh, wait, Steve, sit down. How do you finance yourself in this thing called Campus Crusade for Christ? I said, well, we raise our support. So I started to get up again. And he said, Steve, sit down, sit down. How much do you need? Now, I already told you I didn't really want him to give. And so I just gave him the whole amount. I mean, everything, not only my salary, but actually the travel expenses related to what I was going to do, everything. It was a big amount. He looked at me and said, I'll take it. So that was the end of my support raising experience. It all got raised on that one particular day. And I just think to myself, I wouldn't be here today if I'd have quit 2 weeks before. I had all the reason in the world to quit, but I wouldn't be here if I'd quit. Instead, I needed to be. I wouldn't be here if I hadn't just sat back down when he told me to. I'm here because God blessed. That's why I'm here. And I just have realized that balance, that He does expect us to make the best of what we have. That's just stewardship. But He also expects us to realize He's the one that ultimately provides.